I've spent a lot of my life in places most people try to avoid. My first job was at a Denny's in Portland, Oregon. I was a dishwasher. I was a busboy. I cleaned the toilets. I've probably cleaned more toilets than anyone in this room, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying it because those toilets taught me something fundamental about life and about building a company. They taught me that there is no job beneath you. If you are going to do a job, you do it with every ounce of your soul. You make those toilets the cleanest toilets in the history of the restaurant. You clear those tables with the speed and precision of a world-class athlete. When you approach every task with that level of intensity, you develop a certain kind of humility, but also a certain kind of resilience. You learn how to work hard, and you learn how to find dignity in the struggle. That humility is at the very core of NVIDIA. People see us today and they see a successful company, but they don't see the sweat and the grease from the Denny's years. They don't see the moments where we were facing absolute extinction. They don't see the culture of a company that has been 30 days from bankruptcy for 30 years. We have always been a company that seeks out the impossible jobs. We look for the problems that are so difficult, so painful, and so seemingly unsolvable that no one else wants to touch them. Why? Because if it were easy, anyone could do it. And if anyone can do it, there is no unique value to be created. We want to do the work of our lives, and the work of your life should be to build things that did not exist before you arrived. This philosophy of pursuing the impossible is why we are here today. We are at a moment in time where the very foundation of computing is being rewritten. For 60 years, the industry lived by a very simple rule, Moore's Law. We expected that every couple of years, transistors would get smaller, CPUs would get faster, and the world would just keep turning on the same axis. But physics has a way of asserting itself. You can only shrink a transistor so far before the heat and the power consumption become insurmountable. Moore's Law is dead. It isn't just resting, it's over. And because Moore's Law is dead, the traditional way of building computers, and specifically the traditional way of building gaming consoles, has hit a brick wall. Think about the console model. It's a fixed piece of hardware designed to last for 7, maybe 8 years. In the old world of general-purpose computing, that made sense. You could bank on the fact that software would slowly catch up to the hardware. But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in the era of accelerated computing and generative AI. In this new era, the pace of innovation is not doubling every 2 years. It is increasing by a factor of 100 or 1,000 every few years. If you buy a fixed spec console today, it is obsolete before the plastic is even molded. It is a closed box in an open, exploding universe of intelligence. At NVIDIA, we realized this long ago. We saw that the future wasn't going to be about faster CPUs running serial instructions. The future was going to be about parallel processing. It was going to be about the GPU becoming the heart of the machine. We took the first principles approach. We asked ourselves, if we had to simulate the entire universe, how would we build the engine? We didn't look at what others were doing. We didn't look at the console market and try to fit in. We decided to build a new architecture that would fundamentally change the relationship between the human and the machine. That is what the RTX 50 series represents. It is not just a graphics card. Calling the 50 series a graphics card is like calling a warp drive a fancy engine. It is a fundamental break from the past. It is the moment where we move from rendering pixels to generating reality. This is why I say that the old model of the console is finished. We have entered a period where the software is too smart for the hardware of yesterday. We are now using AI to create pixels that didn't exist, to simulate physics that would take 1,000 CPUs to calculate, and to bring characters to life that can actually think and respond to you. When we designed the Blackwell architecture for the consumer, we didn't just want more frames per second. We wanted a new kind of experience. We wanted to move from pre-baked worlds to living worlds. In a traditional console game, every path is mapped out. Every interaction is scripted. It's a beautiful movie that you can walk through, but it's still a movie. With the 50 series, we are introducing the capability for every NPC to be a generative AI agent. You don't just click a dialogue tree, you speak to them. They have a memory, they have a personality, they have goals. This requires a level of local compute that no console on the planet can dream of achieving. I've always said that you should run, don't walk. If you are not running toward the future, you are being left behind. The console manufacturers are walking. They are tethered to old supply chains, old cycles, and old ways of thinking. They are trying to solve today's problems with yesterday's logic, but we are running. We are running toward a world where the computer is not a tool, but a collaborator. The 50 series is the first step into that world for the enthusiast, the creator, and the gamer. This journey hasn't been easy. I remember when we were developing our early architectures, people thought we were crazy. They said, Jensen, why are you putting all this silicon toward things like ray tracing and AI? No one is using it. But we knew that if we wanted to solve the impossible problem of real-time photorealism, we couldn't just throw more brute force at it. We had to be smarter. We had to use first principles. We had to use AI to bridge the gap between what the hardware could do and what the human eye expects to see. That resilience to stay the course when everyone is doubting you is what defines NVIDIA. Our company is structured to support this. I don't have a traditional office. I don't have a mahogany desk where I sit and issue decrees. I move around. I sit with the engineers. I want a flat organization where the best idea wins, regardless of who it comes from. I want to know about the failures as fast as I know about the successes. Because in a failure, there is information. In a failure, there is a lesson that leads to the next breakthrough. When we were 30 days from bankruptcy during the Riva 128 era, we didn't panic. We focused. We stripped away everything that wasn't essential. We asked ourselves what the most important thing was that we could deliver to the world, and we delivered it. That same spirit is in the 50 series. We didn't just add more memory or more clock speed. We re-engineered the entire stack. We looked at how data moves through the system. We looked at how we could integrate large language models directly into the gaming loop. We looked at how we could make the GPU a factory for intelligence. The result is something that makes the very concept of a console generation feel like a relic from the 20th century. Why wait 7 years for a hardware jump when you can have a revolution every year? Why settle for a box that can't evolve when you can have a platform that gets smarter every time you update your drivers? The 50 series is the death of the console because it proves that the only way to keep up with the pace of human imagination is through accelerated computing. We are in a new industrial revolution. In the old one, we manufactured physical goods. In this one, we are manufacturing intelligence. The 50 series is the desktop version of that factory. It allows you to produce intelligence, to simulate reality, and to create content at a scale that was previously reserved for the world's largest data centers. This is the democratization of the impossible. We are giving you the tools to do work that no one else can do. I want you to think about the pain and suffering it took to get here. Not just for us, but for the industry. The pain of hitting the limits of silicon. The suffering of trying to make games look better while the hardware was standing still. We have taken that pain and we have turned it into a breakthrough. We have used the struggle to forge something stronger. That is the NVIDIA way. We don't avoid the hard things, we run toward them. If you are a developer today, you are no longer limited by the lowest common denominator of a console's specs. You are free. You can build worlds that are truly infinite. You can create characters that are truly alive. You can use the 50 series to push the boundaries of what a game even is. Is it a simulation? Is it a social space? Is it a creative platform? It's all of those things, and it's something entirely new that we haven't even named yet. This is why the reveal of the 50 series is such a shock to the system. It's not just a product launch, it's a declaration of independence from the old cycles of computing. We are telling the world that the era of the fixed box is over. The era of accelerated, generative, and sovereign intelligence has begun, and it's starting right here on your desktop. I often tell students that the most important thing you can have is a sense of urgency. The world is changing so fast that if you stop to catch your breath, you might miss the entire transition. You have to have a run, don't walk mentality every single day. You have to wake up and ask yourself, how can I solve an impossible problem today? At NVIDIA, that is our daily ritual. We are never satisfied. We are always looking for the next wall to break down. The 50 series is a testament to that urgency. It exists because we refuse to wait for the rest of the industry to catch up. We saw the potential of generative AI years ago, and we started building the hardware and the software stack to support it long before it was popular. We took the risk. We embraced the possibility of failure. And because we did, we are now able to offer you a level of performance and a level of intelligence that simply shouldn't be possible in a consumer device. But this isn't just about gaming. This is about the future of work. This is about how we design airplanes, how we discover new drugs, and how we model the climate of our planet. The same architecture that is killing consoles is also the architecture that is saving lives and advancing human knowledge. It is a universal engine for the new industrial revolution. When you hold a 50 series card, you aren't just holding a piece of hardware, You are holding the power to reshape the world. We have always been a company that values the first principles of engineering. We don't care about how things have always been done. We only care about what the laws of physics and the laws of logic tell us is possible. And those laws tell us that the old way of computing is finished, the future is parallel, the future is accelerated, the future is AI. I want to take you deeper into the architecture itself because it is a masterpiece of engineering. It is the result of billions of dollars in research and the collective genius of thousands of people who believe in a common vision. We had to rethink everything, from how the transistors are laid out to how the cooling systems work to how the software communicates with the silicon. We had to build a system that is not just fast, but incredibly efficient. Because in the era of AI, performance per watt is the only metric that matters. If you can't manage the power, you can't manage the intelligence. We looked at the Blackwell architecture and realized that we had to reinvent the very concept of a data path. In the old days, you moved data from memory to the processor, you did a calculation, and you moved it back. That's too slow. It's too hungry for energy. In the 50 series, the data doesn't just move. It lives within the fabric of the compute. We have created a system where the memory and the logic are so tightly integrated that the latency effectively disappears. This is why the gap between the 50 series and any console on the market isn't just a gap, it's a canyon. It is a fundamental shift in how we think about the work of a computer. Consoles are built on the idea of a fixed target. Developers spend years optimizing for a specific set of constraints. But in the world of generative AI, the target is moving at the speed of light. Every week, a new model is released. Every month, a new technique for neural rendering is discovered. If your hardware is fixed, you are trapped in a snapshot of the past. The 50 series is the first consumer architecture designed to be software-defined at its very core. It is a chameleon. It adapts to the workload. When you are playing a game, it is a world-class graphics engine. When you are training a local model, it is an AI supercomputer. When you are simulating a physical environment in Omniverse, it is a high-fidelity physics lab. This versatility is what makes it a console killer. We are not giving you a box that does one thing. We are giving you a platform that does everything. I often think back to the early days of NVIDIA when we were just three guys at a Denny's dreaming of a way to make 3D graphics accessible to everyone. We didn't have a business plan. We didn't have a fancy office. All we had was a belief that the way people interacted with computers was going to change. We saw that the world was moving toward a more visual, more immersive experience. We were right, but we were also incredibly lucky. We were lucky to survive the failures. We were lucky to have partners who believed in us when we had nothing but a vision. That luck was earned through the pain and suffering I always talk about. It was earned by staying up until dawn, rewriting drivers, and fighting for every single transistor. That same intensity is what drives the 50 series. We didn't build this because we wanted to dominate a market. We built it because we wanted to see what was possible. We wanted to see if we could create a machine that could truly understand the world it was rendering. With our new programmable shaders and the next generation of tensor cores, we have achieved a level of cognitive graphics that was science fiction just 24 months ago. We are now at a point where the AI is not just upscaling an image, it is dreaming the details into existence based on a deep understanding of light, shadow, and material properties. This is the first principle of the 50 series. Intelligence is the ultimate optimizer. Instead of trying to calculate every single ray of light, which would take an infinite amount of power, we use intelligence to predict where the light should be. We use the laws of physics to guide the AI, and the AI to accelerate the physics. It is a beautiful, virtuous cycle, and it is a cycle that consoles simply cannot enter. They are stuck in the world of brute force rasterization, a world that is rapidly becoming a footnote in the history of computing. When I talk about the new industrial revolution, I'm talking about a shift in the global economy that is as profound as the invention of the steam engine or the light bulb. In this new revolution, the factory is the data center and the product is intelligence. But with the 50 series, we are putting that factory on your desk. We are decentralizing the most powerful force in the world. This has massive implications for how we work and how we live. It means that an independent developer in a small town can now compete with a massive studio. It means that a researcher can run complex simulations without needing a multi-million-dollar grant. It means that the impossible is now within reach for everyone. This brings me to the idea of a sovereign AI. I believe that every person, every company, and every nation should own their own intelligence. You shouldn't have to rely on a distant cloud or a massive corporation to provide the brain for your work. You should have that power locally. You should be able to train your own models on your own data for your own purposes. The 50 series is the hardware foundation for this sovereignty. It is the tool that allows you to be the master of your own digital destiny. It is a declaration that the future of AI belongs to the individuals who use it, not just the companies that build it. I know there are many people who are skeptical. They see the rapid pace of change and they feel overwhelmed. They wonder if they can keep up. To them, I say, run, don't walk. Don't let the fear of the unknown paralyze you. The only way to find your footing in a world that is shifting so rapidly is to keep moving forward. Embrace the new tools. Learn the new languages of AI. Experiment with the impossible. The 50 series is your invitation to join this journey. It is a high-performance vehicle for the mind, and the road is wide open. In our company, we have a very flat structure. I don't have a private office. I don't have layers of management between me and the people doing the work. This is intentional. I want us to be a learning machine. I want us to be able to pivot on a dime when we see a new opportunity or a new challenge. This agility is what allowed us to move from being a graphics company to an AI company long before the rest of the world realized what was happening. We are always in a state of healthy paranoia. We know that our success today is no guarantee of our success tomorrow. We have to earn our place in the future every single day. The 50 series is a product of that paranoia. We didn't just want to be better than the 40 series. We wanted to be so much better that we made our own previous work look ancient. We wanted to set a new standard that would challenge the entire industry to think bigger. We wanted to kill the concept of the console because we believe that the world deserves something better. The world deserves a computer that is as dynamic, as creative, and as intelligent as the people who use it. As we look toward the future, I see a world where the boundary between the digital and the physical is almost entirely gone. We will live in a world of digital twins, where every object has a virtual counterpart that we can simulate and interact with. We will work alongside AI agents that understand our goals and help us achieve them. We will solve problems that have haunted humanity for centuries, from curing diseases to providing clean energy for everyone. This isn't a pipe dream. It is the logical conclusion of the path we are on. It is the world that accelerated computing is making possible. But to get to that future, we have to be willing to do the hard work today. We have to be willing to face the pain and suffering of innovation. We have to be willing to fail, to learn, and to try again. The 50 series is a testament to that willingness. It is the result of thousands of people who refuse to take the easy path. It is the result of a company that believes that the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I want you to think about what you are going to do with this power. Don't just use it to play games, although the games will be incredible. Use it to build something. Use it to learn something. Use it to solve something. The 50 series is a gift of pure potential. It is up to you to decide what that potential becomes. You are the architects of the next era. You are the ones who will decide how this new industrial revolution unfolds. At NVIDIA, our mission is to build the engines that power your imagination. We provide the silicon, the software, and the systems, but you provide the soul. You provide the purpose. Together, we are building a future that is more intelligent, more creative, and more exciting than anything we have ever known. It is a future where the impossible is just a starting point. The logical conclusion here is irrefutable. The days of the static, hardware-locked console are numbered. The future of gaming, the future of work, and the future of human creativity is accelerated. It is generative. It is AI. The 50 series isn't just a new product, it's the definitive proof that we have crossed the threshold into a new age of computing. This is the truth that the industry is only beginning to realize. The shock you feel today is the sound of the old world making way for the new. I want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us. It has been an incredible 30 years, but I truly believe that we are only at the beginning. The most exciting chapters of our story haven't even been written yet, and I can't wait to see what you write with the tools we've built for you. Before I leave you today, I have a request for our community. If you are as excited about this future as I am, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. It helps us grow this community of builders and dreamers. And most importantly, if you have questions about the 50 series, about the Blackwell architecture, or about how AI is going to change your specific field, please leave them in the comments below. I will be reading them and I will respond to your questions quickly. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're going to build. The future is coming fast. It is a world of infinite possibility and incredible challenge. It is a world that demands our best efforts and our most daring ideas. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Run, don't walk. I'll see you in the future.